Terry, so this is just a quick help video and a run through of how to look after the blog and the what's on page on the website. The first thing to say is when the site is fully paid for, you will get a username and a password which will allow you to access the website and make changes. I always do that at the end of the project, just because at the end of the project I do a full backup before I allow anyone access, just in case they make any mistakes or anything goes wrong. So basically the site gets paid for, the backup is then taken place, and then access is granted, and then should anything happen, I've got a backup I can revert back to should I need to. So the first thing to say is when you have your username and password, you arrive at a screen that basically looks like this, which is the home page of the website. The first thing to say is you'll see the slider will display in a strange format, and you'll see little strange symbols. Basically, you can ignore all of those. They're different elements of the site turned off for phones and for tablets. And the slider obviously scrolls between these photographs, but when it's in Bramble in the back end, what you actually see is everything stacked, and then you also then see a second version of it stacked, which is the version for the phone. So one little tip is if you want to change the slider photos on the home page, you're best to leave me to do that so that I can adapt the computer and the mobile version and get them the right size. But anything else on the site you can change. You can actually change the slider images if I talk you through it properly, but just for ease for now, I would leave those slider images for me to manage. So every element that you click highlights with a green box, which means you're then able to make changes and edits, much like a Word file, and that's the same throughout the website. Everything you click, you can just alter and make changes to. Where you see two things stacked like this, so the make yourself at home paragraph, and then there's one beneath it. The one at the top is the one that appears on the computer. The one below is the one that appears on the mobile. So if you alter the text in the top one, that will alter the text on the computer version. So then you need to then also copy and paste or make the same change on the mobile version. So that's just something to bear in mind if you see any repeated elements. Everything else is quite straightforward. Changing opening times, you just scroll down to that bar and make changes. Photograph changes. Again, if they're specific and they're in certain areas, it might be best for me to change them and get the right size. But if you want to have a go, there's a change image over here, and you basically drag your new photo from the desktop. That will then replace whatever's in that box with your new photo. If you don't want to then use it and you didn't like it, at the top here you have an undo button. So you can make some changes, think actually this doesn't look right, it doesn't work, hit your undo button. The other thing you can do is you can not publish. So if you don't click the green button and you just come up the top and you exit, then basically you won't save any changes. So if you log in, you make all sorts of mistakes, it's not really working. As long as you don't hit the publish button and you just exit without hitting publish, everything's fine. It'll go back to how it was when we next log in. So yeah, that's one thing my customers find. If it's not working, if it's not doing what you think, if you've got size issues, use your undo button to revert back to how it was. If you're in a bit of a muddle, just exit without publishing and everything is completely safe. So that's just a quick run through of that. The things I'm really going to worry about at the moment though is talking to you about the blog and the what's on. So there's a little bit of work involved in these, but I'm just going to run you through it. So the first thing is the what's on page, which is the most straightforward. So where it says index at the top, if you click that and then you click the what's on page, you'll see each page here is labeled. That will then take you to the what's on page. So this is quite straightforward. So what you'd basically do if you wanted to now do an April post, so you click the banner and the header which says March, you come over to the very left hand side here where it says duplicate and you duplicate. You then click the move arrow and drag that below. So drag that down below. Then you can change it from March to April. And then basically you do the same with the actual news section as well. So click the previous what's on information. Over here, duplicate. And again, drag that below April. So then you could then click on this box, change the photo, drop your new photograph on there. Bramble will try and resize that for you and make it fit. So there's optimization in there which will do it automatically. If it gives you an error that the photo is massive and it's too big, again, you'd either need to resize it, make it smaller, or let me do that for you. But 9 times out of 10, it will work and it will change the size and resolution for you automatically. Then you'd overtype your title, whatever your title was. This is a little sort of subheading section. So you could type something in there, or if you decide I don't need a subheader for this one, on the bottom right you have remove that frame altogether. Then you can just put some text in here. And again, if you've got information that you want to add in there to book or any details, you can add that in. Or again, if you don't want that, you can just pop that in there. This then can say whatever it is that you want it to say. If you were then happy with those changes, at the top here, you'd click on Publish Changes. And then within about sort of 60 seconds, you'd refresh the main page on the website, and that would then show as live. So you can see going ahead now that what's on, you'd be able to put in the next few months worth if you wanted to. If you had 2 events in April, the process is similar. You'd then just duplicate and you'd stack 2 up for April. And again, if you need then the header for May, you just duplicate the header, drop the header in there, put May in. Same with this, duplicate whatever that event was, pop that in, populate all your data. So you can see quite quickly you can manage this page. Anything you don't want on the left hand side, you've got remove. So if we wanted to remove all of that, we can just remove all of it. If you wanted to remove the previous events data, that's how you do that. And you might need to watch this video back, but hopefully that's pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated there. So that's that. What I'll show you now is if we just leave without publishing, as mentioned, it does no damage at all to the website. So it will be exactly as it was on that page now. It won't have saved those changes that I've just done. So that's just a good sort of way you can have a play around, practice, have a try, and as long as you don't publish, the site will just come back to exactly how it was before you played around. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly load this back up. You can discard that one, we don't want to keep what I just did there. We'll this time go to the blog. The blog is quite similar, to be honest. So there's 2 elements to the blog. The first thing is you would need to, rather than duplicate on the left, you duplicate up here for the blog. And that then pops one next to the blog area. So this would then become your April blog. This would be whatever the title was. This would be whatever the description was. And then there's a little bit more to do with this because we've got this button where you click to find out more about what the next blog is about. So this is slightly different. So the first thing to do is to set this element up here, like we've just done. So we've got our text and we've got our new photograph in. And then this is where we then create a new blog page, which is what I'm going to talk you through now. So to create a new blog page, we've got the blog 1, which is our set lunch menu, which is the first one that I've done for you. So this bit you definitely may need to watch back. So the steps for this are simple. The first thing is to take the last blog page and duplicate it and basically create a copy of it. So hover over and you'll see duplicate this page. What that does is it makes a copy of the format, so you don't have to worry about fonts and layouts. The layouts and the fonts are all then defined for you. And over where this page name is, you need to click the padlock and give it a proper name. So at the moment it's called copy of and then all the previous blog name. So you delete the copy of at the start. So this will be blog number 2. You have to give it a new name or you will overwrite the previous blog. And because this is a test, I'll just put the word test. And then I'll put another hyphen and then blog. But obviously if your next blog is about a summer event or something else, you obviously put 2 keywords in there that's relevant. So let's just say it's a summer barbecue, for example. Summer barbecue would be the title for that. So you just put in that blog number 2, so we know that when you're looking at previous blogs, it's easy to find them, and then give it a relevant title. That helps Google pick it up, basically. And also it's relevant to give it a title so you can find that blog in the future as well. So once you're happy with the name, you click the padlock and at the top you publish the changes and you hit OK. What that's done is take the previous blog that we had. So blog number 1 remains as it is. We've now got in the main menu blog number 2, which is the one we just made about the summer barbecue. So again, you pop your text in, your header, the date, any text in here that's relevant to it. Same with the photograph. You'd click on the photograph, change the image, drag and drop your new photograph onto there. Any information you think, I don't need this particular box, I just need what's down here, you can hit remove frame. This can be like a subheader if you want it. Your main text goes in there. If you then decide I don't need the information below it, on the left hand side you've got remove, So you get this blog fairly quickly in order that you're happy with. So we will just save this because it's just a dummy page. Save it so that we're happy with that blog. And this is the final stage of the blog. We go back to the main blog page. So again, I'll duplicate this. We'll call this April. This would be whatever the title was. So it was Summer Barbecue. And this is how we change where that clicks to. So first you click on the image, you click on edit the link, and you tell it to link to blog number 2, which is the Summer Barbecue, and you hit save. And where it says click here, you do the same thing. Edit the link, tell it it's linking to blog number 2, save. You would then, we're not going to do that because this is a dummy page, you would then publish the change, go back to the main website, refresh the blog page, and just check the link on the photo and the link on the button work, and that's basically it. So yeah, really, really easy to manage the what's on page, not much involved in that at all. The blog, a little bit more complex because you have this main blog page where they click to the blog they want to view. Then you have that secondary blog page that we've created where all the information lies. But yeah, the blog and the what's on, they're live in your menu now. Again, if you need to watch this video back, it will stay on YouTube for you. But hopefully that gets you everything you need at the moment to manage the blog, to manage the what's on page. You have half an hour a month of free support from me. If you get stuck, if you find it too much, you've got that support built in. Some customers will play around, get things into roughly where they want it, and then they'll ask me to do a bit of a tidy up or a check over using their half an hour free support. So that's an option as well. But yeah, see how you get on. Remember, if you just exit at the top here without publishing, you can't do any damage. So yeah, hopes that's everything you need for now, and thanks for watching.